How would you like to make up to 25% interest per year just by holding cash? Sounds too good to be true? Well, hear me out. This method that I want to share with you involves holding cryptocurrencies. And what's the equivalent of holding cash on a blockchain? Well, it's holding stablecoins. What is a stablecoin? A stablecoin is a cryptocurrency that's pegged to some kind of asset. It can be a dollar, which is the most common one. It can also be a euro stablecoin. It can also be gold or a stock. And how does it work? How does a stablecoin keep its peg to that asset? Well, the most common way that's being used is when a company is holding these assets. For example, Tether by Bitfinex is holding dollars in their bank account, and based on the amount of dollars that they have, they mint an equivalent amount of USDT, and this is how it stays pegged to the dollar. Another example is USDC by Coinbase, and there are many more out there. A second type of stablecoin is an algorithmic stablecoin. It gains its peg through an algorithm. Usually it works like this. There are two cryptocurrencies. One is a collateral token that fluctuates in value, can go up and down, and through an algorithm based on the amount of collateral, it mints an amount of stable coins. And the best example of that is DAI on Ethereum network. So, once you have your stable coins, how do you make interest by holding them? Well, there are two methods. The first one is lending them out on smart contract platforms like Aave or Compound. Well, lending, that doesn't seem risk-free, does it? Or holding cash? Well, hear me out. Platforms like Aave or Compound, they give out over-collateralized loans. Usually it is used for margin trading. And they are over-collateralized, and if the collateral drops in value, it is liquidated and you still get your interest plus your principal back no matter what. And it is a very safe investment. And how much can you make on that? Well, if you go to aave.com, you can see that for stable coins, if you lend them out, on average, you are getting around 10% per year, which is quite nice, but it gets better. The second method is when you provide liquidity of stable coins. How does this work? Well, in DeFi or decentralized finance, we have decentralized exchanges as well. And how it works is you have a pair of tokens that people are trading, and for them to be able to trade, there needs to be liquidity. And how it works. So let's say there is Bitcoin and Ethereum pair. For people to trade that, there needs to be someone that is supplying that liquidity underneath. So you can be that supplier and act as an automated market maker. And you supply Bitcoin and Ethereum in equal halves. And someone comes and he wants to trade his Bitcoin and get Ethereum. So he gives you Bitcoin, you take it in your possession, and you give him Ethereum automatically through a smart contract. And because you gave him a service, and he pays you a small fee, which in centralized exchanges goes to the exchange, and here in decentralized exchanges it goes to the liquidity providers. And this is how you make money. And how much can you make from that? Well, stablecoins are the most traded assets and they generate a lot of interest. But they also have a lot of liquidity, and this drops the interest levels because the interest that is generated is given out proportionally to what you have put in the liquidity pools. So the most popular platform for this kind of liquidity providing on Ethereum network is called Curve.fi, and it has multiple pools that you can participate in. And right now the most significant pool that has around 15% API per year, which is kind of crazy. And this pool actually uses some of the liquidity as uh, as liquidity, and some of it is being lent out with the first method that I mentioned, using Aave and Compound, and this increases the yield even more. Now it gives 15%, plus it is an incentivized pool right now, and it also gives from 12 to 30% API through Curve Rewards, which is their native token. So in total, it goes from 25 to 45% per year. But these rewards, they are not guaranteed to stay for the whole year. So we have that base API of 15%. But it gets better. Personally, I'm not using Curve.fi or Aave. I'm actually using the Binance Smart Chain, which is a copy of Ethereum network that has much lower fees. Right now on Ethereum, it costs an arm and a leg to make a transaction, whereas on Binance Smart Chain, it is at least 10 times cheaper or even more to do a transaction, and it's much more convenient to use DeFi when you don't have to spend half of your portfolio on fees. So where can you use your tokens to make them work for you and make money on the Binance Smart Chain? Well, the platform that I'm using is PancakeSwap, which is the most popular one, which is similar to Uniswap on Ethereum. And here you can find pools for stablecoins that start from 12% for BUSD UST, around 20% for BUSD UDAI, which pays around 20%, and the highest reward right now for a good stablecoin is BUSD UST, which pays 22% per year, which is very, very huge. And that's not all. If you go to the PancakeSwap and you click the calculator button, you can see the rewards when they are being compounded. Because the fees on Binance Smart Chain are rather low, you can do compounding and increase your yields even more. So BUSD UST, when it pays 22%, with compounding it increases to 25% per year, which is very massive. And you can do compounding manually, or you can use a service like AutoFarm, Beefy Finance, that does compounding for you and increases your yields even more. But it is an extra risk. So yeah, this is it for this method. And I also want to share about the risks that you're taking over here. It's not the same as holding cash in your bank when you have insurance on your money, but it is as close as you can get in cryptocurrencies. As you're not trading, you have stable coins that are pegged to the dollar, but the risk is that a black swan event can happen and a cryptocurrency can lose its peg. And that would be a massive hit for sure. Though I haven't heard any occurrences of that happening, so it is a very unlikely event, but it is a possibility and it is a risk. Also, when you're using these pools, you're taking another risk of smart contracts. Maybe there is a bug and maybe they will get hacked or something. So this is definitely a huge risk. And if you're using, let's say, PancakeSwap for getting your tokens for your liquidity, and you're also using a yield aggregator, that's another smart contract risk on top. So overall, you do have some risk from these protocols, though if they work perfectly, they are pretty stable and you don't have the crazy volatility that we have in cryptocurrency markets. So this is the method. It is quite proven. It is being used for at least a couple of years on Ethereum and now other networks are using it. And yeah, if you have any questions about it, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.